The evening before the Rolling Stones tour of the Americas began 2 weeks ago in Baton Rouge, Mick and I talked a little about the road that brought him to rock and roll. You and I are, I think I'm 3 weeks older than you are.
Oh, yeah?
And I think back to all the changes I've gone through in 10 years. You must have gone through some heavy changes also.
I've been doing the same thing, more or less. I mean, for the last 10 years, after I left school. And things that have gone on inside my head have been pretty gentle, really. And so it's, I've not been come to any tremendous, walls or, things that I couldn't get over, I mean, it's just been very sort of just gone on the same way.
Do you ever think what would have happened if you had graduated from the London School of Economics and become an economist?
I would have given it up, I should imagine, in about a year and done something else.
It's really funny the courses that people take. What did you want to be?
I didn't know. I didn't know. You see, people were. I was only interested in to do things that didn't earn money. Like history and things. And the only thing you can get a job if you know about history of medieval field systems is to teach other people medieval field system farming. So, which is all right to teach other people if you really want to do that. It's also very low paid, so you have to be very content with the small things in life, Even, unless you come to America. Well, I didn't know about that.
Well, even in America, I think they probably don't do as well as most rock stars.
Wow.
The music of the Rolling Stones has always been furious and excessive, and it's that over-amplified excess that's a large part of the group's magic. That and their old image of social unacceptability, but their seedy rebelliousness and their excess has also had its tragic and sometimes violent side effects, and rioting and injuries, and at least in one case death, have been frequent sideshows to Rolling Stones concerts.
I mean, it's just so mad. I mean, people get injured, and that sort of thing. And then you don't even get to do the whole show, we used to go on. We were supposed to play half an hour, we used to go and play 10 minutes and then say go, please leave. It's not very much fun, actually.
Like what happened at Altamont, I guess that was the most notoriously publicized, maybe because it happened here in the United States. I mean, that really bummed me out.
Oh, it was really, really unpleasant.
Do you think that any of the blame for what happened attached to you or to the group?
Oh, yeah. Not all of it, but some of it, yeah, of course.
Well, how do you feel about that?
Not very good. But I mean, some of the blame, must always come back to the, people. But there's a lot of blame in other places,
Well, do you accept the blame for it? Let me ask you.
I have to accept my portion of it.
People, who's fighting what for? Who's fighting and what for? Why are we fighting? Why are we fighting? We don't want to fight. Come on. Do we want? Who wants to fight? Hey, like, every other scene has been cool. Look, Cat, that guy there, if he doesn't stop it, man. Listen, either those cats cool it, man, or we don't play. Come on. Hey, if you don't call it, you ain't gonna hear no music. And you want to go home or what? Sam, we need an ambulance. We need a doctor by that scaffold there. If there's a doctor, can you get to there? Come on, we can get it together. Come on. Sit down. How about acting? You think you get back into acting?
Yeah, acting is... I would like to do acting, but acting is a very strange thing because it's so interpretive, It's worth being creative.
Well, I saw you in performance. You were pretty good, and I was surprised that you never followed it up, really, with another major film. We did Ned, what was his name?
Yeah, that was bad, it was, wasn't it? But, I mean, yeah. But, I mean, there's only 5 parts a year, you know. As they say. Well, there's only 5 good movies made a year, man. And I can give you the actors that will get those parts.
Well, would you like to go back into acting, assuming that there were a movie that...
Yeah, I would do... I was asked to do a movie, well, which could have been quite good at this period, and I couldn't do it because I was doing this. You know, so.
Do you think that the people who love you as a singer and a musician and the leader of the Rolling Stones would appreciate you as a movie star?
I don't know. Maybe. If it was properly promoted.
Jagger hasn't really been accepted yet as a movie actor, and I really don't know if he ever will be. But on his kind of stage, in front of his band, Mick Jagger's the best there is. The last time the Rolling Stones toured in this country, Jagger made the audiences crazy. Playing at a fierce fever pitch, the Rolling Stones reconfirmed their reputation as the greatest rock and roll band in the world, but that was 3 years ago, and a lot of things have happened to them since then. For one thing, they've all passed their 30th birthdays, and after 11 or 12 years of this, it can't be too exhilarating to rehearse until 5 in the morning. To make the thing work right, all the tons of lighting and sound equipment and all the special effects machines, after being moved from city to city, have to be carefully reassembled and rechecked. It takes hours, and until it all works, they have to keep at it. It's a job, and it's extremely unglamorous. Of course, the $12 million they expect to gross from this tour makes it all a bit more bearable, but still it's a lot of work. The day of the first concert in Baton Rouge, the thing that surprised me most was how unruffled the audience was before the show. True, it was a Sunday afternoon, but even so, they were very unemotional about the whole experience. And before the concert began, I decided that the real test of whether or not the Stones were still the greatest rock and roll band in the world would be whether Jagger could get this crowd up on its feet. Well, he did it. Pouting, preening, prancing across the stage, changing identities from drag queen to macho mystery man, he had them cheering with reckless abandon. Between the matinee and the evening performance, the band did what most rock and roll bands do between shows, that is, nothing much. Nobody was raped or pillaged. If anybody was shooting dope, I didn't see it. And actually, the most scandalous event was Bill Wyman beating me 21-10 at ping pong. You really you gave them their money's worth. It was, you know, this was a very clean-cut audience, and I said that to myself, if you had them up on their chair tops dancing and clapping their hands, then the magic, and I know you don't use that expression, but it was still just as hot as ever, and it was there.
No, they're a very good audience, and they didn't, I mean, we never played here, so they were never seen us before. So not like a captive, you know, Rolling Stone freaks, you know. I mean, they may have liked the band, but never seen them, or some of them may have done, the majority, no.
I heard one reporter calling in his story to his newspaper, and he said that he mentioned some things about the concert, and then he said, despite some very minor flaws, it confirmed the Rolling Stones as the greatest rock and roll band in the world. So I think that's pretty accurate.
I just think it's just quite a good band, you know. I don't think they're that great.
The Rolling Stones. I just have to show you something. You know, I never believed that there was a generation gap. But Kenny Whalen, who's the stage manager here, said, they're a pretty good band, but it's hard to hum the tunes when you're leaving the theater.